What's up, guys? Welcome back to TheReviewSpace, and today I am gonna review last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, September 3rd, 2012. Alright, so let's begin. We have CM Punk and Sheamus in a promo. It was just a back and forth exchange. Punk essentially just calls Sheamus, "Hey, you're number 2 around here, buddy. There's a pecking order, and I'm the number 1, the WWE Champion, and of course you're the World Champion, so you're the secondary title holder." And which was true. I mean, it really was. That's the truth. When you're the World Champion, you matter less compared to the WWE title holder. You are less prestigious. You are second banana. You are silver medalist, so to speak. Anyway, AJ comes in and she announces a match later between these two. So it's like, whoa, champion versus champion, to go along with the theme of the upcoming next pay-per-view, Night of Champions. See that? See how they work that in? Anyway, we got Dolph Ziggler against Randy Orton in our first match of the night. Surprisingly, Dolph Ziggler wins via this really unique counter pin on Randy Orton. So, hey, it was a good, surprising win for Dolph Ziggler. And this really shows that he's on his way up prior to him eventually winning some kind of title. Alright, so right after this match we have Miz's music playing, and Miz comes in to be the guest commentator to replace Jerry Lawler. I believe Jerry was attacked by CM Punk or something earlier. I think I missed that. But anyway, so we have Rey Mysterio and Cara, the two luchadors, against Tensai and Cody Rhodes in a tag match. Alright, and eventually the luchadors win. Cara and Rey Mysterio, they get the babyface win, glory shot. They, the whole thing. It was kind of interesting to see this tag team, because in the back of my head I was thinking, could this be a possible tag title contender? Could they be an actual tag team that can go for that gold, or rather the copper tag belts? But I just thought of it like, if they were really gonna inject and invest some level of involvement and boost up the tag division, this is a pretty decent idea to have the two masked Mexican wrestlers be a tag team. I mean, this might be their only chance. You don't know how many years or how much time Rey Mysterio has left. And then you have Cara, who is the new Rey Mysterio in some respects. I know he's not on the same level, but this would be the big opportunity to actually pair these two up as an actual tag team. Just for a short while. It doesn't have to be a very lengthy reign, but it would be kind of interesting to see that. Alright, so yes, what else do we have here? Before the match versus Sheamus, okay, so CM Punk announces that he will take a break on Labor Day, and he won't participate in this match. So basically he just canceled his match. He just didn't want to be involved in this Sheamus match, I guess. Too bad. So AJ she's just like, oh, what am I gonna do now? And then Matt Striker comes in, try to interview her. What do you think? What are your thoughts? And then somehow AJ Lee doesn't know Matt Striker. She doesn't know who he is. Yeah, that shows you kind of the irrelevant nature of Matt Striker. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they had to address that she didn't know who Matt Striker was. It was almost like he didn't matter. Like, this guy could be fired tomorrow, and it would be just like an afterthought. Like, whoa, Matt Striker was fired? Which is a shame, because Matt Striker really was, at one point, one of the best commentators for the WWE. Alright. So we have Sheamus against Jack Swagger, CM Punk's replacement. And Alberto Del Rio is at ringside, supposed to commentate. He didn't really say much. Now we have Sheamus going over, defeating Jack Swagger via a Texas Cloverleaf submission. That was a bit of a surprise. I just didn't expect that, Sheamus to actually pull off a freaking submission move. Like, whoa, this guy has a submission move now. Oh my goodness, he's like a Kurt Angle, but not really. I don't know, it looked kind of awkward in Sheamus, actually, because he's this big guy, and his moves are supposed to be hard-hitting strikes, and, you know, these moves like the bro kick, and these slamming moves, but to give him a submission was just kind of weird, you know, it just didn't seem to fit his initial gimmick. But anyway, what else do we have here? We have Kaytlyn against Eve in the Token Divas match. We have Layla on commentary as well, so it was actually kind of entertaining to see Layla and Miz just go back and forth bantering and just having a funny exchange. They were at each other's throats consistently, which was actually more fun to watch and more fun to listen to than to watch the Divas match. It was actually kind of boring, the actual Divas, you know, match itself, but the commentary was what made it interesting for me. Who won this again? Yeah, Eve won this. She won with a neckbreaker maneuver, and then there was sort of this small exchange, like this tension between her and frickin' Layla, and somehow Eve is a babyface now. Like, she's just a clean-cut babyface. She's smiling, waving at people. She's just a clean, good guy now for some reason. You know, it wasn't too long ago that she was completely like disrespecting Zack Ryder and being this absolutely, you know, loathsome heel, you know, this bitch of a female character, which I actually enjoyed that run. But now she's a good guy again. I guess because they have really nothing for her, which is kind of a shame. But anyway, we have an ongoing anger management segment, so showed throughout this night between Daniel Bryan and Kane, and they were this anger management thing, trying to resolve their issues. It was actually kind of comical, probably one of the best parts of this episode. Too bad that all of this was like footage from last week, and you know, stuff that happened last week. I like the continuity aspect of it, but it just felt almost like irrelevant, you know, just to address it. Like, it's nice to have this, but it's filler, you know, that's what it is. It's filler. Alright, what do we... okay, Ryback. Okay, Ryback against Jinder Mahal. Well, this was pretty much a squash match. Ryback destroys Jinder. One noteworthy thing was that, well, we got a first piece of merchandise of Ryback. He's got a t-shirt. He has a t-shirt! So now you can purchase a Ryback piece of merch. You know, that shows that he's climbing the ranks here, people. See, when you get your own t-shirt, that means that WWE is going to really invest in you and try to make money off your character. Huh? I mean, the t-shirt is okay, I guess. It looks kind of, it reminds me of the Straight Edge Society t-shirt, actually. The black and white back in the day. But anyway, let's keep going. Alright, we have a poll voting on Twitter, I guess. And this was supposed to be... Okay, they asked, like, okay, what do you want Daniel Bryan and Kane to do later tonight? And essentially we had... I forgot the other two choices, but the last one was to hug it out. Okay, so they're gonna hug it out in the ring. You know what? This one was... I didn't not expect for the hugging out to win. Like, that one was kind of obvious. That was what I predicted to get the edge in this one. So we get this segment between Kane and Daniel Bryan, right? So they're supposed to hug each other, which eventually they did. And it was very slow, and there was a lot of build-up to it. They eventually hug each other, but then they start fighting, start hitting each other. Things got physical, and then Kane just beat up Daniel Bryan. But Daniel Bryan came back with the steel chair. He smashed Kane with it, and we're back to, you know, the square one. We're back to the first time that they fought each other, and now there's more tension again, and, you know, anger management issues all over again. You know, I thought that they were actually going to make up. They were going to fight each other, and then afterwards they're both like injured and down, and they're both like looking at each other, you know, in the middle of the ring, and just be like, yeah, I respect you now, bro. And then they shake hands and they're like, yeah. I don't know, that's what I thought, but... Alright, so we have Antonio Cesaro with a new French rap entrance theme song, so not his generic so yeah, he's got a new theme song. It doesn't really fit his gimmick though, like it did just the flow because it's a rap hip-hop song. I appreciate that it's in French, You know, just okay, it's European. It's a French rapper. And he squashes Santino Marella. I don't know. It doesn't fit his European gimmick, the flow, the vibe of it. I think it should be a bit more classical or something like that. You know, something a little bit more European as opposed to a rap. I guess maybe they're trying to modernize his gimmick, his persona. Like, okay, let's give him a rap theme. Yeah, I mean, you know, Antonio, his name is funny to me because it's like Antonio Cesaro. It sounds Italian, you know, it's a very Italian sounding name, but he's Swedish, you know, isn't he Swiss? I don't know, like, I wish they gave him more of a Swedish sounding name, or it's something like, just a different name. Alright, so we have Zack Ryder against Heath Slater, and this match to me just didn't matter. I mean, the crowd was into it, and they were all, yeah, Zack Ryder. And Zack Ryder actually got the win, which was actually like, whoa, that's cool, but it still didn't really matter to me. Alright, so we have Vickie Guerrero calling out AJ. I guess she just wanted an apology or something, and then she slaps AJ around. Somehow AJ can't fight her back because of the board of directors or something like that. She'll get fired or something. I don't know. It looks like AJ was about to snap in the end. It just didn't seem to matter too much. Like, to me, this feud isn't really a feud. It just feels so irrelevant. Like, who cares if Vickie has problems with AJ? Like, they're not gonna... It doesn't seem to matter, you know? I can't invest in this. Alright, so now we have the main event. We got Alberto Del Rio against John Cena. It's a false count anywhere match, so they go all the way to the backstage. They're still brawling it out. CM Punk interferes with a kick to John Cena's skull. John Cena goes down, and then CM Punk puts ADR on John Cena. ADR gets the pinfall, so Alberto Del Rio gets the win. But the bigger story is that, well, CM Punk gets the final, you know, exclamation mark of the episode again, and attention is on him. And he goes, you know what, respect to John Cena. Like, you know what, this is what it's all about. He's got the WWE title. He goes inside this car, and inside the driver is Paul Heyman, which is kind of cool. I like the continuity from like when he cut that promo last year, like, I'm a Paul Heyman guy, and so now he's with Paul Heyman now that Brock Lesnar is gone. You know what? I mean, I like the direction where this is going. I don't know if he necessarily needs Paul Heyman, because what is the point of Paul Heyman? A speaker. He is a mic worker. He is a promo guy, especially for Brock Lesnar. But for CM Punk, does he need to be a mouthpiece for CM Punk? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if he needs to be that mouthpiece, the guy who talks for him, because CM Punk can talk himself. It's almost like having, you know, Jake the Snake Roberts with freaking Bobby the Brain Heenan. It's like both of them can already talk, and I mean, I guess this would just sort of be a thing where Punk aligns himself with a heel manager, and so he's more heelish than ever, but yet the crowd still chants his name, and they still like him. Although, to be fair, this was in his hometown, Chicago, so you know, maybe in the next coming months they're gonna start booing him a lot more seriously and a lot more intensely. So CM Punk is definitely starting to become more heelish. Well, that's pretty much it for this episode. It was okay at best. You know, there were some interesting things. Daniel Bryan, Kane stuff was probably the most captivating to me, and the scene Cara, Rey Mysterio tagging partner was actually kind of cool too. Overall, this episode wasn't too shabby. It was alright, but nothing too outstanding. So we'll see what happens, develops in the later weeks to come. So that's it for this episode of The Review Space. Thank y'all for watching, and until next time, ciao.